All right, I'm hiking on both the Appalachian Trail and the Benton Mackay Trail, and I ran into
Jaws
And Paws.
All right.
Thanks, John's dad.
I got up and going early this morning. Since I'm the slowest, I need to be the first on the trail. I get to talk with everyone as they pass by me throughout the day. My plantar fasciitis has been really slowing me down for a couple days. Even when I get a nice, flat, smooth section of trail, I don't have a second gear. I just limp along in first. My slow speed isn't impairing my appreciation of the views, though. I'll take plenty of time to share them with you. For good news, my new Enlighten equipment quilt is working out better than I had hoped. I'm going to order a 10-degree quilt for my winter trips. After all, it's just money.
The climb southbound out of Cooper's Gap is significant, let's say. It continues past, what is it, Horse-Tower Gap? I'm not sure. But it keeps coming up. And basically at the top of the climb, there is a camp spot up here. So wouldn't be a bad place to end the day, do a long, strong hike, and then end up here. Or maybe start the day going northbound from here. It's really pretty. Oh, birds. Got everything here you need. Here we are at Hightower Gap. This is where I did my first section hike. Ron Brown dropped me off here and I stood there like a deer in the headlights, I think is the right phrase, not knowing what to do. And he says, you go that way. And off I went. What an experience that was. It was great. Really enjoyed it. And of course I'm back again. Many people are members of families or know people who are. And if you're a parent, you'll know that your memories from your youth were important. Some of them probably. But the big ones, the ones that you got to share with your children, those are the memories that stick with you. And here I am, Hawk Mountain Shelter. It's the first shelter I ever slept in on the Appalachian Trail. And I'm sharing this with John's dad's son. He's ahead of me. He's younger and faster, so he's here already. But I remember getting dropped off by Ron Brown back at Hightower Gap and him saying, go that way. And I came this way and ended up here. Met some really nice people. There's a couple, husband and a wife, that were starting a through hike. It was in April, I believe, that I was here. And the husband threw the bear rope up and tangled it all around so it got stuck up there on itself. Just went up and over just a little bit and tied itself in a big knot. And so I offered him some of the extra rope I had, but he was good. He had plenty of rope. Met some other people there, a group of friends that like to do section hikes. Little did I know that shortly thereafter I'd be in one of those groups. And that's why we're here today. So I guess I'm not surprised that where I set up my tent originally was just right over in here, and it's in the section closed for revegetation. And here's the shelter. Kevin and John's dad's son are there. I'm going to join them here. It's time for lunch. John's dad just finished lunch and we filtered some water. The water is real clear and filtered real nicely. So I had lunch and he's headed off to Long Creek Falls, and I'm going to be following up here in a few minutes. Real nice place to take a lunch break. The water is a little bit further away than you might expect, but it's really not that far. Just keep following the blue blazes. It's down there and it's flowing great. Well, that was a nice long break. At least an hour. Put my head down for a little bit. Didn't fall asleep, but still relaxed and listened to the birds. Filtered some water. The river down there, the creek, flowing real strongly, and the water seems real clear. The water from Devil's Kitchen tastes really like iron, which I'm sure it's still healthy and everything, but I'd rather have water that doesn't really taste like much. So, got 3 miles to Long Creek Falls and then 3 miles to Stover Creek Shelter. That's the day, 6 more miles today. And it's about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, so I got plenty of time. The Hawk Mountain campsite is way more developed than I thought it would be. They've got, 30 different campsites defined, and there's 3 different bear boxes. They got a privy in here. They've got a handicap accessible campsite. I'm not sure how the person would get here, but I don't know much about that. So definitely give this a shot. It's about a half a mile south of Hawk Mountain Shelter. Definitely take the walk out to Long Creek Falls. It is super cool. I'll insert some pictures here. And maybe remind some of these people about the 4 T's of trail signs. Maybe I shouldn't be advertising them here. I just had a flashback to when was it 2014 or 15 when I did this section originally, and I wanted to share it with you. And I made a mistake in it, but it was a social mistake. It wasn't necessarily a backpacking mistake. I was coming the same direction. I was going southbound, and I met 2 guys going northbound. And if you've ever read of Mice and Men, there's 2 guys in it, Lenny and somebody else, and I always forget both of their names. One's a smaller guy, and he's pretty smart. And then there's the stereotypical big dumb guy. So they're going up the hill, and the big dumb guy character of the story, huge backpack. Let's see if I can show you. It was above him, this high, and this wide. It was wider than him and bigger than him. And the social mistake I made, I said, "Whoa, you guys got a lot of gear." The little guy ripped into me. Nobody's going to tell them what gear they need. They're going to make it all the way to Kungsleden. And so I let him rip into me. I had earned it. And, begged forgiveness, etc. And we ended up having a good conversation. And about 100 yards further after we parted, they headed north and I headed south. I found a 2-pound bag of Skittles that had fallen on the trail and broken open. I don't know if it was theirs. But I thought it was. So that was the story. I screwed up, and it wasn't even backpacking related. Oh, my memories get clear. This is exactly where that bag of Skittles fell and broke open. Very clear and vivid memories, especially after having just gotten reamed out by the character of Mice and Men. Yes, okay, so I showed you the pictures related to the Benton MacKay Trail, Benton MacKay, depending on who you are. And check him out. He's got an interesting character. His trail is White Diamonds. Now, you don't see any other blazes on this tree. Does that mean we're off the Appalachian Trail? Nope. It just means that the people who maintain the Appalachian Trail and the people who maintain the Benton MacKay Trail are not the same people. They decide when and how they put their blazes up. You'll see a lot of trees where the white diamond and the white blaze, rectangular blaze, are both there, or you see one or the other. But don't get complacent and start following the wrong blaze. I saw this white blaze. This means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. What does mean is a white blaze, and I need to keep looking for those. All right, I'm hiking on both the Appalachian Trail and the Benton Mackay Trail, and I ran into...
Jaws and Paws.
All right.
Thanks, John's dad.
I just got to spend a few really pleasurable minutes with Jaws and Paws. They're on their very first backpacking trip, going to go up to Unicoi Gap, actually doing the reverse of what our plan is, and I wish them the best of luck. They have some heavy packs, but they have no resupply. And we got resupplied every other day, so their packs are pretty heavy. But it looked like they could do it. Sometimes I think I may have picked the wrong career for a lot of different reasons. But I'm so enthralled with bridges for some reason. I'm thinking maybe I should have been a civil engineer. Somebody had to design this, build it, spec out the parts. I guess I may have spec'd out the parts before they built it. I could learn that if I went to school to be a civil engineer. Oh, I remember being here. I just saw the person sitting, they're laying down over here. When I did this the first time, I came across this bridge and I sat here for about an hour, just enjoying the bridge in the water. This is a cool spot. You should check it out. This is right by Three Forks. When two trails do run together, you do want to pay a little more attention to signs and markings and blazes.
I've got to apologize. As I was putting together this video, I realized that at Stover Creek camp area and the shelter area, I didn't take a single picture. Not at least of the camp area. It's really nice. It's similar actually to the Devil's Kitchen area. Really nice, and I would recommend it definitely. When I got there, I was so exhausted and my foot hurt so much. I gave my food bag over to Bill. He was going to go take care of it for me, and he asked me what I'd eaten for dinner, and I had to admit nothing, and I wasn't planning on eating anything because I just didn't have the energy. He convinced me I should at least eat the Snickers, and I got that down, and about an hour or so later, I started feeling good, but by that time, it was time to start settling in, so that's what I did. Tomorrow's a different day, and in the morning, I'll tell you how that changed. Our plans changed. At least my plans did.